Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Marcus Aurelius, and this is Dominions 4. So, let's start playing, shall we, after 2 episodes of exposition? Oh, but wait. Before we do that, let's explain a little bit about the special buildings inside the province, and you can see them down here at the bottom right. Some provinces that we have yet to conquer may yield up special buildings that we have to search for to find, and they provide benefits like recruitable troops and gems, but these ones come with our home province and they're unique to our nation. There's the Swamps of which gives us 3 nature gems per turn and enables recruitment of the Sarush, the wingless dragon I showed you in the previous episode. That means he can only be recruited here and in no other lands that this nation possesses. The next is the First City, which for the same thing allows recruitment of the N2 and the NC. They are only recruitable in this province. Next we have the House of Water, which gives us 2 water gems, 1 earth gem, and the recruitment of the holy unit Enki's Chosen, the bodyguard unit I mentioned. And by the way, since I brought it up anyway, I mentioned in the last episode that the bodyguard was a special ability. Well, specifically, what it does is, if a commander has troops assigned to guard them, and they're assassinated, or they're an attempted assassination attempt, then the bodyguard has a 50% chance of being there to defend them. If they have the bodyguard ability, it means that they have an even greater chance. And it also means that the value of the ability is added to the morale. So in this case, the morale gets +2. So that's a unique ability. I also mentioned a little bit about the spear, and I kind of alluded to the fact that it helps with defense. Specifically, a spear is 20% reduction to the protection of the person you're attacking, and if someone attacks you and your weapon is longer than their weapon, you have a chance to deflect their attack. And even if you fail and you don't deflect the attack, you still do a little bit of damage to them in return. So it's good to have. Alright, so let's get started. Right now we have our scout. Let's send our scout out to this province over here to take a look and see what's around. We don't know what's around us yet. We have to wait a turn to do that. Here's our first commander. He comes equipped with some troops. Sometimes I make a profit out of my first scout or commander. I'm not going to be doing that in this instance. Making a profit, basically you pick one of your units and they become attuned to your god. They get Holy 3, or they add 1 Holy to their Holy score if they already have Holy 3. And they also get some other effects, their strength, their hit points, and I believe their magic resistance is impacted by Dominion. So if they're in your Dominion, they get increases to all those stats, and if they're in enemy Dominion, they get detriments to all those stats. Profits also spread your Dominion like a temple, this thing right here. So just by existing, they cause your Dominion to spread. I'm not going to create one just now. I have a plan in store, and I'll discuss it when I get to it. This is our army setup screen. You see that our commander is already starting with a bunch of Enkidu soldiers, 15 of them. I wouldn't necessarily throw them out into a battle just yet, so let's recruit some new ones. First thing I want to do is recruit my first mage. Now, normally I would start with a cheap Salme to get my research going, but in this case I'm going to start with the NC, which is going to take 2 turns. This means I'm going to slow down my magic research by 2 turns, but it's worth it and you'll see why. I'm going to get my Hornblower to increase morale, and this troop costs 13 resources and this costs 7. So I'm just going to go with this for now so I could recruit more. And I'm already out of resources, so looks like that's it for this turn. Okay, everything looks like it's good to go. Can't really set any research yet because nobody's researching. And let's go. Next turn. Okay, so Tianxi, so that's one of our enemy nations. They're the one based on ancient China. They have named Tianlong the Noble as their prophet. And Katis, okay, the lizard nation. They've got Sezgalu, the lizard lord. He is the prophet. So some nations are already starting to prophetize. Okay, now we can see what's around us. Here we have some Wolf Tribe archers and Wolf Tribe warriors. Our scout's in there, so it's sort of accurate. That seems pretty good. Let's move him around here. And here we have militias, light infantries, and archers. So neither area do we really have too much to worry about. Let's recruit some more soldiers. Okay. can't recruit a mage because he's still coming. And let's add these guys to him. And you'll notice +0 morale. Put the hornblower in, +1 morale. So that much more strong. Okay, still nothing. It's worth noting that we're gaining 2 water gems, 1 earth gem, and 3 nature gems a turn. That will grow as we conquer more provinces and discover magic sites. And since I'm pretty much doing what needs to be done, let's end the turn again. Okay, now Arcocephale, that's a country based on ancient Greece. They've got their prophet, a Myrmidon champion. And Tirnanog, they are based on, gosh, early Celtic mythology. And the City, oh, please go ahead and tell me how to pronounce this correctly in the comments, I'd appreciate it, is the prophet. So we're getting a lot of prophets. And our guy's ready, Urigalu. Let's see what he got. He looks like he received an air magic random, which isn't too helpful, but that's okay. Now here's the reason why I wanted him, because if I make him my prophet, he already has 3 holy. So rather than getting a 3 holy prophet, I'll have +1, which will be 4. And why does that matter? Well, if you look at him and you look at his battle orders and look at the spells that he can cast, these are the spells of holy that can be cast. Now, magic spells cost fatigue, but holy spells don't. And that extra level of holy does some really cool things. One, it gets fanaticism. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. It gets fanaticism, which is basically a spell called Sermon of Courage, but it affects the entire battlefield. So this is a morale buff to the entire battlefield, and hardly anybody can ever cast this. You need to have somebody who's already 3 holy, which is pretty rare, and prophetize them. Or there's a really high level item that also raises your holy to 4. He also has Word of Power, which is, it's less impressive. It's just paralyzes a unit. So that's what I'm going to do. But before I do that, I'm going to want to rename him. Urigalu is an okay name, but I'd like to make it a little different. I'd like to honor someone by the name of Surreal Beliefs, who is a Let's Player that I watch frequently, and unlike me, he's actually really good at it. And, you know, he's also a really nice guy and helped me a lot. I had some questions about how to get started on this and some equipment I needed. And, you know, I want to say thank you and honor him, so I'm going to make him my prophet. So when you load up your unit and press the R button, you're allowed to rename them. So there he is. And actually, it's pretty appropriate because this guy is going to be the head priest of a giant winged naked woman with chicken legs who wants to take over the world. And if that's not a surreal belief, frankly, I don't know what is. So there you go. Now that that's done, and the reason I did that just now is because once you prophetize somebody, you cannot change their name at that point. So now I go to their actions, which is right here under them, research, and become prophet. Meanwhile, Nusku is just sitting around. He's going to keep building up some troops. So once more, I'm doing nothing, but this time at least I'm going to recruit a mage. And then more soldiers. Okay. And done. So now Saromatia, they're a nation, I believe, based on the ancient Scythians, Scythians. They're basically lizard riders and death priests. They're a pretty fun nation, really strong as well. Dalestris, the warrior priestess, and of course now Surreal Beliefs is now the prophet of Ursula. Alright, so now we have a guy who can keep our troops, their morale high, and he can also throw in the hurt when he needs to. So let's finally, after all this wait, have a little bit of combat. So I'm going to keep these guys, I'm not going to do anything fancy right now. I'm just going to keep them in a big blob and have them go forward. You can change the order of the guys. You can, for example, give them a line formation, a double line formation. But the problem with this is it reduces their morale, and I'm trying to keep their morale decent. So for right now, they're just going to stay in a big clump in a box. Surreal Beliefs is going to stay off to the side, nice and safe, and their commander is also going to... Actually, you know what? I don't even need the commander. Let's give them the Surreal Beliefs. Battle increase. Now they have +3 morale. They are just spoiling for a fight. They're ready to kick some butt. And for him, I want to have him cast... It's fanaticism, right? Yep, fanaticism. Get everybody the extra morale. And I think it only works once. I don't think it stacks, but if I'm wrong, please let me know. And then I'm just going to have him cast a spell called Smite, which attacks people at random and could potentially kill them. And it costs no fatigue, so you can do it forever. And then I'll just have them. You can only tell your commander to do 5 things. Once that's over, then they switch to doing their own thing. And that's something worth noting, is that in this game you do not actively participate in the battles. You set the battles up beforehand, but then it takes place and you get to watch it and see what happens. And that's what we're going to do. So now finally we can start researching. And I have it set so that when mages come out, they're automatically set to research. And I've done some research of my own, and I've decided that I want to do alteration first. Now, why would I want that? Well, I want to get to alteration 4 for a couple reasons. Quickness, that my water mages can cast, will make my troops faster, have increased their defense, and they'll attack twice a turn. Another fun spell is Encased in Ice, which slows units down, and Liquid Body is a good defensive spell. Also, my earth units can Temper Flesh, which gives you resistance to different weapon types. And my nature units can cast Elemental Fortitude, which makes them a little bit stronger to the elements. So there's a lot that I can get out of this spell. And my air guys can do Wind Guide, which helps with arrows, making sure that your archers fire straight and hit their enemy. So that's what I'm going to go for, Alteration 4. All 9 research points. Okay, let's get another one of these. And another Hornblower, more troops. Eventually we'll switch to the tougher guys when we've got some more territory to defend. Okay, so first of all, let's see. Probably best to come here so I can get some production, and they seem like the easier group to attack. So my scout is over here, looking lost. Let's move him around. Let's go toward the swamp, because I want to move in that direction. Right click just checks the province. Left click tells your troop to move. And we're done. Okay, here's our battle. Now you could get the results of the battle, but you can also watch it, and that's a lot of fun. And we have about 3 minutes left, so let's see. Now first of all, pushing space pauses the battle. And there's other keys too. Pushing F will make the battle go a little faster. You'll notice that I have my troops here and my Hornblower in the middle. And you'll notice that they're fitting 2 to a square. Whereas your typical human troop, let's see if we have them, yes, they fit 3 to a square. And that's one of the benefits of having a smaller size. Right now they've got a bunch of weak little guys, but they also have a mage, a nature mage, and it seems like he's casting the Vine Arrow spell, which is this little guy right here. If it hits one of my troops, it will do damage and potentially tie them to the ground for a turn. Here's Surreal. You can see here that he's the Prophet, which automatically blesses him, and so he gains +1 morale, +2 precision, +2 reinvigoration, which basically allows you to counter fatigue, lets you last longer, and a bit more hit points. Right now he has 45 hit points, because he's my Prophet and he's in my domain. And let's see what happens. I think we're going to win, but you never know. There's fanaticism. So you should notice right now that their morale is increased now. It's +1. Plus they have the +3 bonus. So they have some great morale now. It went from a basic of 15 to a really good morale. A basic of 11 to a really good morale of 15. I kind of don't like how it slows down when the spells are in the air, but whatever. So I'm immediately whacking these guys. I'm bigger and stronger than they are, so they're not taking much. They're already running. You can see he's tied down by the Vine Arrow. But looks like I've got this well in hand. Once the commander is dead, everybody else runs away. And the province is mine. You can check this to see what happened. I lost 1 guy, and of course he was my Hornblower, which increased everybody's morale. Luckily their morale is great, so that's not a problem. And now I have a new province. And I'm going to have to stop. So thank you for watching. Leave comments. Have a good one, everyone. Bye-bye.